You stand in the presence of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Uriel Septim VII, who bids you welcome.
It is a pleasure to meet you, is it your grace or your majesty? I've heard both used in reference to your royal person. I wouldn't say that I was doing it to be wise, I wanted to save my father. It seemed to me unfair that I should live and he should die after everything that's happened. Azura might say it was my destiny, but I wasn't going to do it. I make my own fate. Me? Call upon a divine? No, that's rude of me. I'm sorry. I was at least, blessed by Azura. I was her chosen one. I have plotted with Vivek, obtained near godlike power, and at least outwardly for a while, made no secret that I accepted my heritage with all its assumed evils. What I mean to ask is, why would Akatosh listen to me, even if I did pray to him? Yes, that makes sense. Really, right now, I just want to help people. Perhaps you can advise me there. Where do you begin when you want to help your people?
I didn't know there was a cavern for the failed incarnates. I should ask Nerevar about that when she return. Right now I need to finish this journal. Let's see, Sadara was just entering Red Mountain. Azura's words echo to remind me of my duty, my destiny. Strike down Dagoth Ur and release the land from his grasp. Yet the memories of Indral Nerevar say he was once my truest friend. So when he admonished me for coming unprepared, I asked that he at least speak to his old friend, for there was much I wanted to know, and as he was an enemy of the tribunal, he would surely be honest with me. I thought he would say no, but in his stony yet hopeful way, he replied, "I would be happy to grant you that before our battle. What do you want to know?" We talked well into the night on many things, and this man, I have been warned by the Ashlander wise women that he is mad, dead, evil. But the darkness they spoke of is not all that resides in him. Something still remains of Vorin. I have heard the echoes of his laughter, and there is no sweeter sound. Sadara, always so. Poetic, weren't you? Death has not been kind to my old friend. His corrupted form is a prison for a tormented soul that yearns for release. Our conversations ranged from Nerevar's death to the present day, and then moved on to the nature of power, divinity, and the flaws of the Daedric princes we once revered. There is much he misunderstands, and yet much more that he does understand. With each passing day, I am increasingly torn. The lines between friend and foe have begun to blur the longer I stay. The more of Nerevar's memories seem to return, and the more of Vorin seems to come back too. Morrowind condemns him, says he is irredeemable, but I cannot ignore the hope that he might be talked down from the horrors they accuse him of. Sadara, all right, Dagoth, you can get through this. I find myself drawn to him in ways I cannot fully articulate. He has had time to explore all of the mysteries of the heart, to ponder divinity and so many other things. There is a depth to his knowledge and wisdom that intrigues me, and his voice, though tinged with sorrow, holds a certain... Wow, she took up the whole back of the page with one sentence. By Azura, what have I done? Oh, I think I know what this is about. Let's see. He offered me a drink, a rare vintage called Dagoth brandy, something I had only seen a few times in all of Morrowind, in the heart chamber of all places. His mask was off, propped against the heart. I stood drinking with him as he spoke once more of his plans to complete Akulakhan, to drive the mongrel dogs of the Empire from Morrowind, and how pleased he was that I would be there to see it with him, once I went out to get Wraithguard, of course. What good is it to obtain victory, he said, if there was no one to share it with? And together none, not even the Daedric princes, could stand against us. I forget exactly what I said in response, ... It was something about going to war dressed as he was, and I seemed to find it funny. He seemed almost bashful. I made some joke about Nerevar thinking about it, and something leaped in me impulsively. I grabbed his head and pulled him down into a kiss. I expected him to be cold, but he was the opposite, nearly enough to burn just from a touch. He pulled back almost instantly, and I realized what I'd done. A slurred mess of apologies followed, but were quickly silenced when he kissed me himself. Oh, perfect. It looks like someone tore out the rest of the page. I remember that night. Gilvoth came in after she went to sleep thinking I defeated her in battle. Azura's words haunt my thoughts, as she reminds me daily of the path I should take. But I cannot bring myself to heed her call. Instead, I find myself entangled in a web of passion. Vorin's arms are the only place I want to be, and at a single touch, I am undone. Well, now I can see why someone tore half of that page out. Let's see, there's quite a gap between that and the next entry. Amidst tangled limbs and whispered promises, I cannot escape the truth. Dagoth Ur remains determined to hold to his plans involving Corpus and the blight diseases. Despite my efforts to persuade him otherwise, he stands resolute, unwilling to deviate from his path. He refuses to see that his plans will only harm the people of Morrowind. He brushes aside the illness as being mere consequence of being unable to bear his divine disease. Not all minds, he said, were capable of comprehending divinity. Some minds and bodies would inevitably break. I can no longer continue down this path of passion while turning a blind eye to his divine disease. It is clear that there is only one way forward, and yet I fear to take it. To spurn both Dagoth, Ur, and Azura, I cannot bear to see the land suffer under the weight of his ambitions, nor can I bring myself to raise a weapon against the man I love. What a fool I have been and continue to be. I know not what lies ahead, but I'm determined to find my own path, one that does not require me to choose between love and duty. May the Divine grant me forgiveness, for surely Azura will not. The pursuit continues, relentless and unyielding. I find myself constantly on the move, hiding in the shadows, never staying in one place for too long. Does Vivek know what I have refused to do? Or does he pass his time idly, unknowing, while his followers do all this for him? It works out the same either way. Fear has become my constant companion, but it's overshadowed by something else. I am with child, and whether I am more pleased or frightened, I cannot say. I will love this child, I am sure. But how can I bring any child into this world whose very existence is shrouded in danger? My only solace lies in the hope that perhaps one day the child I carry will know a world free from the grasp of Dagoth Ur and the prophecies that entwine us. She will know all, the love and the danger, and hopefully she will be strong enough to do what I could not. Oh, if only you knew, Sadara. If only you knew how right you would be. You weren't weak. I was. I have taken refuge in the Argonian mission, a haven amidst the chaos that surrounds me. The Argonians have offered me their protection and hospitality. They see the good I have done, the lives I've helped free from the shackles of slavery. In their eyes, I'm not just a fugitive, but a guardian of freedom. I've given over most of the artifacts I've collected in my time in Morrowind. I won't need them any longer once I've left, and to hide me must be dangerous. Here, within the sanctuary of the mission, I find a temporary respite from the turmoil that threatens to engulf me. I spend my days in seclusion, tending to my growing belly and reflecting on the choices that lie ahead. Azura's anger still echoes within my mind, reminding me of the path I forsook and the prophecy I chose to defy. But in solitude, thankfully, there is not only fear but joy. I feel the gentle fluttering of life within me, a reminder that love and beauty can emerge even from the darkest of circumstances. It is all that sustains me on the worst days, that hope. Wait, this last entry isn't in her handwriting. Ukawe, the name says, all right, Dagoth, you got through the rest. You can get through this too. Ukawe writes, the labor was long, and despite my healing efforts, her strength waned with each passing breath. Her face was etched with pain, yet still she struggled on. The room was silent save for the mewlings of the babe, and I saw the mark of her lineage upon her tiny wrist. A glimmering ring, the moon and star, had been slipped onto her delicate skin. Sadara was weeping, but not until after reading her journal did we truly discover why. Her last words were, "She looks like you." We have named the child Hajdik, which means hidden child in our language. We shall not burden the child with knowledge of her parentage until she is old enough to bear it, so that her childhood need not be spent in the same fear that plagued her mother. I'm sorry, Sadara. I am so sorry.
Sadara, you have failed me. Your love has clouded your judgment, and your choice has brought upon you a grave consequence. You were destined to strike down Dagoth Ur, to save your people from his looming darkness. But you forsook your purpose, and now you face my judgment. You shall wander the Red Mountain region, unseen by those untouched by Corpus, a haunting reminder of your failure. As a wisp mother, your spirit shall forever be intertwined with the land he blighted. You shall witness the suffering that unfolds, unable to intervene. May this eternal penance serve as a reminder of the cost of your sin.